Hey, what's up, everyone? Obviously, this is someone else's document, but I just wanted to talk about the invasion of privacy. This was a conversation that I had this morning, and it just really it made me think about it, and I decided to make a video regarding it. I'm not going to say too much. I usually say that, and then I talk forever, right? But anyway, I I months ago I downloaded the update to the My AT&T app. So then I started looking into my AT&T, the account. And lo and behold, when I started going into the detailed area of my account and our account, it's under my email because I'm the only one. Well, I'm the main email. Daddy now has an email. I made him an email, but I created him a Google account. So I looked into the My AT&T information. These are just transcripts from the internet of different people's accounts that they posted to Google Images. But upon further investigation into it, I discovered that every single phone call from the month, when we started the call, the duration of the phone call, when we ended the call, and that's to be expected sort of in modern times. But not only that, they also kept the audio from each phone call. And they do this, they have it in their servers, in the cloud, I guess you'd say. Every phone call we make is in the cloud. And you can go onto the My AT&T app and you can look at this. And you can see how long you spoke to this person, how many texts you sent, and how many minutes you've talked, yada yada. So on and so forth, right? Not very shocking. Well, what I then further looked into, when I looked into this, I looked at the details. I said expand details. I obviously am not going to show you for privacy purposes, but I looked into it further. This was months ago, and I just now decided I'm going to talk about it. What the heck? I'm just going to do it. And I found out that every single conversation had a transcript. Every word, every single word that you state is transcripted. It's been scripted. It's been listed. So every time you have a phone call, the phone company has that data, and you can access it through the app. If you have AT&T, you can go on there and see under My AT&T. I don't know if it's available now, but it was before. And I went to My AT&T, and I went to the app, and I went to the settings, and I looked into my account, my usage data. Then I looked into the phone call records, and it showed the time and the date of each phone call that each of us had, and who we talked to, and when we talked with each other, and all of this, the text that we had sent, and everything, voicemails, messages, phone call duration, and how long you talked, and when you called, and what time you ended the call, the date it was, and everything. And then I went a step further and looked into it and opened up the details, and in the details, I found out that every bit of everything we stated was transcripted. Now, is it really necessary to have a transcript written out like a script of every single thing you stated in a conversation, private conversations with family members? Is that really necessary? But they have it. Of course, they also, if you're not using incognito mode or private browser or whatever, they have every single thing you searched, stated, watched, done, and which apps you open and what time. You can go to your Google dashboard. You'll be surprised. Go to your Google, search My Google dashboard if you're not using DuckDuckGo or some other search engine. Go to Google dashboard. And I understand to an extent. I get to an extent monitoring due to the modern times in which we live. I understand some of it, but there's a line that can be drawn between invasion of privacy. When is the point when does it become invasion of privacy is taking place in the guise of national security? basically. But I understand we're living in a very complicated times because we've given up a lot of our security. We've given up a lot of our privacy for entertainment and all of that. If you use apps, if you use these devices, you pretty much have to give up all of your own privacy and security. But anyway, back to this topic. Every phone call record that you have, every phone call you have made has a transcript. Now, you already know Google has the location of everywhere you've been. Sometimes slightly inaccurate, sometimes very inaccurate, but they still have a record of everywhere you've been. My father passes through an area when he drives through, he passes through this particular area every time it's 5G towers. And you can hear the difference, and he said that it cuts his 4G phone out, a flip phone. He has a flip phone, but it's still 4G, LTE, I believe. And he said it cuts it out every single time, and you can hear it messing up and cutting out because that 5G signal is so powerful. And the towers, he said they put multiple towers up everywhere through that road, that stretch of road, but yet it cuts his signal down and it hurts him. It harms you. It makes you hurt. And he said he gets a sharp pain in his head every time he goes through there, through that area. He gets sharp pains in his head, migraines, and just pains all over, and has to put the phone away because it sends a loud noise through the ears, through the especially if he's wearing a headset, which he's lost his headset. He said it disappeared, but I don't know. He said it must have vanished. I don't know. We deal with such crazy things, but I don't know. I hope he didn't lose it somewhere. Maybe it'll resurface. I don't know. But he said every time he goes through there, a loud noise goes through his device. Just like when we used to go by a military area when we were taking him to work, and we were heading down the highway. There was a military base nearby, and there was inside these huge rocks. Anyway, inside these big, large, huge rocks at the side of the interstate, the side of the road, there was this military, and I think underground there were military bases as well, because every time it would mess up, my old MP3 player would go like that and mess up, even though it was an MP3 player. The music would be playing and do that every time. Things would mess up, phones would mess up, devices and things would screw up when it went by there, so you know these signals mess things up. But the 5G signals are really bad. They want access to everything everywhere. Just like he said this morning. Daddy said this morning. He said that they want you to be, I sound like Morty. They stated that they want you to be monitored 24/7 everywhere you go, that to be nowhere you can go without being monitored. And that is what they want. For you to have nowhere to go that you're not being monitored and not being seen. That they don't know what's going on. And it's already at that point right now, but there are a few places you can be without that happening all the time. I mean, even if you're doing nothing, it's still annoying. And they want to add these systems where they monitor you 24/7 everywhere you go. There's no freedom. But add that on top of the fact that this summer I found out there's a transcript of every single conversation that we've had. And they keep it in the cloud, in their servers. You can't access it all. You can only access the past month's worth, I believe. But they have a transcript of every single phone call, everything you've stated, every single word for word, of everything you stated back and forth. You and the other person, back and forth. And it's all on record. That's just creepy. That's just creepy. There is no privacy. Just like devices will randomly come on when you're talking about something, and you don't even know they're coming on, and they're listening, and they'll send it to the cloud, and you don't even know it. Or they'll send it somewhere, and sometimes it doesn't show up in your history, but who knows where they sent it or who they sent what you were stating to. It's an invasion of privacy. And but you have to use these things for convenience, and it's just crazy. But anyway, what do you think about this? I found out they have a transcript of every phone call, not only the when you called, who you called, when you called them, and how long you talked, and all of that, and the messages, and everything. They have a copy of every message. They have a copy of everything. You can't see it all, but they can see it all, and it's the transcripts are in servers. Peace. Signing out. Invasion of Privacy 101. Signing out. My links are below. If you like what I do, feel free to support and help out. I love you all so much.